Welcome boys, Mr. Mifsud here. I'm here to show you basically what you need to do for your Year 8 rock assessment. When you open up your file, you'll open it up from the server. It will look something like this. There'll be one track already in there. It won't be this exact same melody, but here's just one so that you can get the idea of what it's going to look like. If you hit the start button, this is what you'll hear. Right, not very interesting at all. A lot of metronome in there. Now that metronome's annoying you, can turn it on and off here. But we're going to need it for this first recording. So I like to start with the old bass and snare. Now you'll notice that there's 3 drum tracks. Now you really only need to use 2. I'll show you what the third one is for later. But basically, if on the first drum track you have your bass, snare, and the second one you can record the hi-hat. Now there's different hi-hat rhythms that you can use. Today I'm just going to use the straight 8. Now if this melody starts to get in the way a little bit, we can mute it, turn it on and off by pressing this button over here. We'll leave it on for now and see how we go. Now I only need to record 1 bar, and you can see the bars that are just split up over here. I just need to record 1 bar of my bass snare, then I'm going to loop the rest, okay? So, now if I just hit record, it's going to start straight away, and I've got no real time to get sorted. So, go up to control, first thing you'll need to do is make sure you put a count in here, okay? Now when you hit record, or press the R button on your keyboard, you'll have 4 clicks. Warning. Okay, let's see how we go. And that's it. Now if I double click on that, I can have a look, let's get in my piano roll, at exactly what I've put in. Now you notice that there's all these other little lines across here. Now every 4th one, it's a little bit longer. That's the start of the next beat. Now notice that one slightly before the beat, so you can actually edit your notes in here. Now do it before you actually loop anything, and it will just mean things are really spot on. Okay, so I've got that, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to loop that all the way up to 12 bars. Okay, hi-hat time. Trusty hi-hat over there. Back to the start, hit record, and I'm just going to do again, 1 bar is enough because we can loop. There we go. Now I felt that was a little bit out of time. Here's another trick. I'll show you this really quickly. If you highlight all of your notes, now I know all of these are quavers, or we can also call them 8th notes. If I highlight all of those and go to this quantize menu over here, click down and select my 8 notes. Now what that will do is it will nudge everything so it's just in the right spot. Now if you can't remember which one to do, you'll work out pretty quickly what one works. If you just do 1, there's 1 note in every bar. If you do 2, 2 notes in a bar. 4, 8. Now if we go any higher, it's going to start getting out of time again, okay? So let's just select our 8 notes. Now you don't have to do this, but if you want to get your drum rhythm absolutely spot on, it's not a bad idea. So there we go. Let's see how we're going. Now I'll just knock that metronome off, see how we're sounding so far. Look, not bad. I'm happy with my drum beat, but now I think it's time we added a bit of bass. Now remember, your bass notes are the same as a C chord, except it's broken up. Now unfortunately we can't loop the bass because we're going to have 4 C chords. Then on the 5th bar, we're going to move up to F. 7th bar, back to C. 9th bar is G, F, C. So we can't exactly loop any of this stuff, so we're just going to record it in real time. Get my cursor ready, starting on a bit of a lower C. Don't start all the way up here. Don't start all the way up here. Definitely don't start all the way up there. Let's start here. Okay. There we have it. Now I'll just trim that slightly. So you notice there's a loop there, and that's your trim. Okay, so look, I'm fairly happy with that. It should look like this type of a rhythm. Okay, now we said we're going to leave this other drum for a while, so let's move into the chords. So this is the last real thing you need to do. Chords, do them a little bit higher as well. So your drum kit is all the way down here, your bass is down there, and chords a little bit higher. Now we're going through the very basics first, so for the chords, 1 chord per bar is fine. Okay, here we go through. Just watch the keyboard for the changes. And there you have it. Now again, if we just check all of these, they all look like they're at the start of the bar. If we take a look at our piano roll as well, yeah, they're not too bad. This is how you check if things are in time or not. And you can just nudge things across, but I'm pretty happy with that one. So look, that's really it, guys. Now the rest is just the icing on the cake. Now if you want to get into the top box for your mark, then you need to do a little bit more. This right now will get you about a 17 out of 20. If you want to get the creme de la creme and go for the very high marks, you need to add a little bit more. First thing, easiest thing to do is use your 3rd drum kit track. Now you notice on the drum kit, you've got all of these extra tom sounds. Now, what I like to do is the old, and on the black notes, yep, all of these different cymbals. So a nice easy one is a bit of the, okay, now the key to this one is less is more. So don't overdo it, just feel it, see what feels right. Alright, here we go, let's see what we can put in. And that's it. So I only really used it about 3 times in there. Again, you don't want to overdo it, just add that extra bit of detail. Right, so that's the drum kit, but you don't have to stop there. If you sort of realize that that's you done, then that's fine. But if you want to add just a few more touches, the next thing I suggest is adding a new track, adding the plus button down there, and I love that guitar sound, but I'm going to add just a bit more rhythm to those chords. So instead of just long sustained chords, I'm going to give it a bit of rhythm. Okay, so let's see how this works. now again, you could stop there, but the very last track that you could add is a little bit of a backing riff, and I like to add a horn section to this. So we're going to add one more, and we're going to go with the horns up here. A nice horn section there would be fine. Now there's a couple of notes that work really, really well with this 12-bar blues. The first one is a C, the second one is a B flat, the third one is a G. 3 notes. Now, you can make up your own little melody for this, and basically anything will work. Don't go too overboard. Just like same with the drum kit, less is more. Just feel what sounds right. So let's see what we can do with this. Okay, a little bit cheesy, I know, but not too bad. Alright, now if you do want to go the whole hog and get a little bit more of an interesting bass part, here's how you can change the bass. Instead of just those 3 notes, we're going to add 6th note and the flat 7th note. Now this is getting pretty technical, so hang in there. You don't have to do this obviously, but if you want to go for the characteristic sound, here's how to play it. So the C one looks like this. The F one. So here's 1, 3, 5. Your 6 and flat 7. Back to C. The G chord. Here's your 6. Here's your 7. Okay, now I'm going to delete my bass part out of here, and I'm going to re-record this, but give a bit more of a bluesy walking bass. Okay, now you notice that I went all the way up in the G, but there's not really enough time since it's only 1 bar, so the other way you can play that is either way will work fine. Okay, so let's go back and just have a listen to everything together. Look boys, that's probably about as high as you'd want to go. You can add a bit more things, but it starts sounding a little bit messy. Just have one more listen to it all, and then that is it from me. Thank you for watching.